While searching for a manga that could keep me interested and wouldn't force me to resort to bringing the toilet paper roll from the bathroom to my room, I stumbled upon this one that, contrary to my expectations, led me to do just that. Inside a room, Shizuku is approaching Ishizuki, who seems to be flustered hearing the girl say they should keep this a secret from someone and just go with the flow. However, this is merely a dream Ishizuki is experiencing while in the classroom. As he attempts to halt the girl's actions, he rises from his seat and shouts, "Stop!" while calling out her name. His outburst grabs the attention of everyone in the classroom, though it fails to surprise the other students. They believe that Ishizuki and the girl are already close and that they should simply start dating. However, the teacher is slightly annoyed, hinting that Ishizuki might struggle to graduate if he continues this behavior. From the seat beside him, Shizuku suggests that perhaps Ishizuki desires to see her even in his dreams. After classes end, as they walk together, the girl persists in her attempts to uncover what he dreamt about, teasing him and suggesting she knows he loves her. However, the boy denies it, claiming it was merely a frightening dream. When she presses him once more, the boy hesitates for a moment, gazing at her, before briefly describing the content of his dream. This prompts the girl to lean in close, whispering, "That dream may actually come true." Upon hearing that, Ishizuki becomes visibly embarrassed, but then two hands grasp their shoulders. Takt came from behind while shaving tears down his cheek, questioning why he's the only one in a different class, even though the three of them have been in the same class since the 3rd grade. Because of his sad state, Shizuku, as his girlfriend, will cheer him up. Thinking about it, since it's April, it's been almost a year since these two started going out, and the situation has become even more cringe since Ishizuki had that dream. However, when the couple invites Ishizuki to join them for cake at a cafe, he politely refuses, wishing them a good day instead. And when taking a last glance at them before leaving, Shizuku gives him a smile while saying, "See you later." Sometime later, as he sits in bed, the boy wonders what's been going on with him today. Was it unnatural for him not to tag along with the couple? However, after having that dream, things feel a little awkward, and just as he starts to ponder his feelings, someone knocks at the door. To his surprise, it's Shizuku, saying she wants to stay for a while. However, before letting her inside, the boy decides to quickly clean up his room, hiding those juicy magazines under the bed. Meanwhile, looking around, she believes this place didn't change a bit, and when receiving a message from Takt, a questionable expression shows on her face. But Ishizuki has finished moving the napkins and lube from his bed, and he's ready to greet the girl inside. Before entering, she appears to have turned off her phone, and she starts asking about his parents, only to find out they're not around. With that being said, Ishizuki informs Shizuku that she can't spend the night there, concerned about what his hands might do if a cute girl like her were to be sleeping around him. Now, while sitting in his room, nothing seems to get going. A strong silence has drowned upon them, making the situation so awkward. They've been like this for nearly 10 minutes. That makes the boy want to hear something from her. Otherwise, the image of his dream will pop into his mind once again. Seeing the girl shiver, Ishizuki believes she is feeling cold and is about to go and turn on the air conditioner. However, Shizuku suggests that would be a waste and, in the next moment, moves closer to him, surprising the boy. She mentions that Riku is so warm, and it has always been like that. His body temperature is high, but only his hands remain cold. Then, in the next second, she grabs his hands while looking straight into his eyes. With that, she moves even closer, suggesting he is the same as ever. But this situation brings some concern to the boy, who pushes her away while saying that the two of them are just friends. Yet the girl is saying that this much is totally normal between friends. However, she is way too self-conscious. Shizuki reminds him that they used to do these kinds of things all the time when they were little, like holding hands when going out or walking arm in arm. She brings up the piggyback rides and suggests he is heartless for forgetting all of this. Now, as one of the most important things they used to do, she places her head in his lap and tells him they used to give each other lap pillows as well. While she is feeling relaxed with her head in his lap, Ishizuki tries his best not to send any wrong signals, ensuring that he doesn't accidentally hit her in the head as she is facing a dangerous direction. Apparently, something happened between Shizuku and Takt today. She is not going to explain exactly what. She knows that she shouldn't be here, yet before realizing it, Shizuku found herself coming here anyway. Feeling like a burden, she asks Ishizuku if it's alright for her to stay. He agrees, just for today, understanding her need to be comforted. When she emphasizes that it's only for today, she responds that it's fine because that's all she needs. And all of a sudden, they end up in a posture recreating the image Ishizuku had in his dream. However, Shizuku is saying that this is not sudden. She told him earlier that she would spoil herself. Reminding him of what he said earlier, she tells him it's not a good idea to invite the girl from his dream to stay at his place. What if that dream becomes reality? However, Ishizuku's discomfort grows, and he insists that it should stop, prompting her to comply with his wishes. Despite her reassurances that she won't do anything, Shizuku unexpectedly gives him permission to do as he pleases. And when suggesting to keep this a secret, just between the two of them, Ishizuki urges takes over, and as he is about to do something regrettable, someone knocks at the door, asking if he is home. Hearing that his Takt voice, Ishizuki tells her to hide. However, she ends up saying it is time to go, and it was all a prank. Upon learning about his strange dream, she merely wanted to tease him, reassuring him that everything that had happened until now was just a joke. However, she ends up overdoing it due to his amusing reaction. A moment later, Shizuku leaves with Takt, who didn't doubt them even for a second. As Ishizuku reflects on what just happened and wonders if everything she told him, including the part about something happening between her and Takt, was just a joke, he questions if Shizuku really came here just to tease him. Even if it rained, was it solely for that purpose? Not even a second later, he receives a message from the girl saying that she forgot her umbrella at his place and will come to pick it up next Friday. She gives him one last look before moving out of his line of sight. Ishizuki's heart pounds as he contemplates the fact that there are 329 days until graduation, wondering if he will be able to spend the rest of his school life peacefully. Sometime later, Ishizuki is having another soggy dream and once again interrupts the class by shouting Shizuku's name, followed by the word stop. It looks like this cringe scenario is going to repeat for a while, and the teacher is not too happy about it, signaling that he is going to slap him the next time he is falling asleep during his class. However, all his attention is directed towards Shizuku, who giggles while looking at him. When the lunch break has come, the girl is about to invite him to eat together, but Ishizuki leaves the classroom as quickly as possible without paying attention, putting the girl in a state of disappointment. The boy went on a bench, thinking that it's been a week since that incident, and since he started avoiding Shizuku. He is not doing this because he came to the realization that he hates her or something like that. It is something else. Whenever he looks at Shizuku, an image of her in some unconventional posture pops into his mind, causing him to feel uncomfortable and run away. And the way she approaches him is not helping at all, making him do something only to avoid more contact with her. Before he knew it, Ishizuki ended up looking at his best friend's girlfriend in a dangerous way. But it's alright because these feelings will settle down after a little while. However, while sitting down, Shizuku approaches him, suggesting that he is wasting time until after the sunset so that he doesn't have to see her. And now, in his attempt to escape, the girl manages to grab his hand and starts questioning why he is running away from her. Prompted by the boy's attempted escape, Shizuku inquires about the reason behind his sudden departure, to which he hesitantly admits his fear of her unpredictable behavior. In response, she assures him that there's no cause for concern, as she is not going to do that. And now she asks about her umbrella. Remind him that they spoke about it and that she is going to come and pick it up. As they walk together to his place, Shizuku unexpectedly seizes his arm, prompting the boy to politely request that she refrain. However, she dismisses his request, suggesting that he might flee if she releases him. Despite his concerns about being seen by Takt in such a situation, Shizuku appears unconcerned, leading Ishizuki to ponder her indifference, raising some questions in Ishizuki's mind. And to make it even weirder, she slides her hand down a little, grabs him directly by his hand, and confuses the boy even more, not knowing what is going through her mind. Somehow, He comes to the conclusion that Shizuku may pretend that the day she came over last time never happened. However, when they arrive at his place, he tells the girl to wait for him outside until he brings the umbrella. Yet it doesn't look like she is ready to listen because, in the next moment, she stands behind the boy who searches for the umbrella. She remarks that it has been a week since her last visit, implying that his parents are likely absent today. Even though she let herself inside, contrary to Ishizuki's words, Shizuku is saying that, despite what happened last time, he let her inside. She denies any suggestion that she was pretending their last interaction didn't happen, and in fact, she did that on purpose. Additionally, she inquires about the reason behind his avoidance, suggesting it is because he would remember what happened between the two of them. Upon hearing his agreement, she boldly asks if he wants to pick up where they left off last time. At which point, like a teenage boy with the appetite of a wolf spotting a buffet, he couldn't resist and sheepishly admitted that he'd be lying if he said he didn't want to. However, from the way Shizuku is handling things, it seems like she wants to make Ishizuki her little dog or finds pleasure in toying with him. This suspicion grows as she abruptly ends the conversation, stating that she only came to pick up her umbrella for today and nothing more. As he impulsively reached for her hand, hoping for a connection, Ishizuki's heart sank further as he was once again met with rejection. Feeling a mix of disappointment and resignation, he reluctantly suggested that he would escort her home. As they walk, it looks like the girl is going to make a habit of grabbing his hand, but the boy has so many things he wants to speak about and tells Shizuku about how she asked him to let her stay over and how he can do anything for her. Those things are not good to be said by a girl so easily. However, Shizuku explains that she has never made such statements to anyone except Ishizuki. When questioned about Takt, she simply brushes it off, suggesting that she had no idea he thought of her that way. She is so shocked that she will end up saying all sorts of things about him to everyone in class. Apologizing for his insensitivity, Ishizuki's gesture prompts Shizuku to contemplate her response. After a moment of consideration, she suggests that she will forgive him on one condition: if he agrees to fulfill a simple request she will make. Assuring him that there's no need to worry, she hints that the request will be straightforward. On the upcoming Friday, she intends to stay over at Ishizuki's place. 21st of April has come, and Takt is being surprised by Ishizuki's sudden make of plans. Apparently, he invited his friend for a sleepover, but he does not seem excited about it, especially because he has club activities. However, when Ishizuki suggests that Shizuku was the one who proposed the idea, implying that she wants to cheer up Takt, who is not in good spirits, and asked for his help, it brings tears to Takt's eyes. But the truth is a little different, as we know, and Ishizuki is using this to persuade his friend to join. Upon hearing that it was his concerned girlfriend's plan, Takt changes his mind and decides to go with it since he wouldn't be a man if he didn't go along with her plans. When suggesting whether he should come together with Shizuku after school, Ishizuki tells him not to mention their conversation to Shizuku, which raises some questions. However, he quickly dispels them by explaining that Shizuku was planning to surprise Takt by unexpectedly showing up at Ishizuki's place. Instead, Ishizuki thought it would be nice if Takt was already there to surprise her. Perhaps with what I believe is a fake smile. Or maybe the boy is just too carefree. Takt thinks the idea sounds good and decides to go with it. Later that day, a scared Shizuku showed up at Ishizuki's place and discovered her boyfriend was there as well. When she asked what was going on, before Takt could say anything, Ishizuki barged in, suggesting he would explain it to her, and then took the girl away. Now, finding themselves alone, Shizuku wastes no time in asking why Takt is here when they were supposed to be alone. However, Ishizuki explains to her that while he agreed to her request to stay over, he never said he wouldn't invite anyone else. Acknowledging what he is saying is indeed true, as she says that let's just go with that for today, making Ishizuki relieved. If the two of them somehow ended up being alone, those things he saw in the magazines under his bed might have become reality. But not before returning back to Takt. Shizuku suggests there are still plenty of things the two of them can do even if they're not alone, completely shattering the moment of calm Ishizuki had just managed to find. Inside, Takt, very enthusiastic, is waiting to see what the two of them have prepared for him, who is not in good spirit. Upon hearing that, Shizuku is puzzled, not remembering saying anything like that, but Ishizuki reassures her that she did. The truth is, the boy came up with this lie in order to bring Takt to his place. However, Shizuku excuses herself, suggesting she hadn't actually thought of anything, and asks the boy if there is anything he would like to do. Now, as Takt sits there pondering on what he would like to do, we are taken inside a wrecked building that resembles a shed, where someone's body could be hanging from the ceiling. But contrary to my thoughts, Takt believes this place may be filled with some naughty books or something similar to that. Meanwhile, Shizuku has climbed a ladder and found one of her old magazines that she used to enjoy when nobody was around. But that's enough with messing around. It's time for them to do something more interesting, and when Ishizuki suggests a play tag, Takt suggests that they are not kids anymore, and adults have their own way of playing. Hearing that, both Ishizuki and Shizuku got puzzled, and their minds went in the wrong direction, not realizing this guy meant to play hide and seek. And now as Ishizuki is looking for them, Takt is being caught since he could not stay in one place and kept on voing, destroying his dream of winning the game. It turns out, he always was the kind of person who could not wait, but even as the one looking for the others did not work for him as he always returned alone while sulking. Deep down, he was jealous of those who were good at both waiting and hiding. But now, as they speak and bring back old memories, Takt approaches Ishizuki suggesting that he is hiding something from him. And as a deep silence raises, he continues by saying, "The thing in your pocket." And after a suspicious moment in which the gloomy Ishizuki did not know what was going on as Takt was moving his hand through his pocket, the guy brought out a pack of biscuits. Takt was just feeling hungry, and he knew that Ishizuki would bring something to eat, even though it wasn't for him. It turns out, Ishizuki did not bring just some treats, but also all kinds of things, such as tissues, bandages, mosquito repellent, and so on. After all, it's better to stay safe than feel sorry later. And with that, when they are about to get going, when Ishizuki asks Takt to wait for him, he is refused. From this point on, they are going in different directions. And since it would be fun to compete while doing this, Takt suggests the one who finds Shizuku first is going to win. With deep confidence, he declares that he's not going to lose this time. However, not even a moment later, when Ishizuki starts looking for the girl, he is grabbed from behind and gracefully lands his head on the girl's lap, as if it were a magical pillow that compels you to say yes to whatever you're asked. With this happened, Shizuku suggests she found him, stealing the boy mission. She knew Ishizuki would end up coming here, which is precisely why she decided to play the waiting game. And of course, this marks her victory. While pondering why the girl keeps on messing with him, Ishizuki suggests that their encounter was just a coincidence, and he ended up here by sheer chance. Aside from that, there is a chance that both Takt and him could have come there together, but Shizuku, with an oddly relaxed expression, dismisses that as impossible. She knows Takt well enough to predict that he will turn this into some sort of competition, especially against Ishizuki. Either way, Takt won't be able to find her. Upon hearing Shizuku's confident remark, Ishizuki protests, insisting that it's not true. But the girl simply suggests they wait and see, confident that her boyfriend won't manage to find her. And now, as they turned off the lighter and sat back while staying quiet, the situation becomes rather awkward, making Ishizuki believe he should not have gone along with her idea of waiting until Takt finds her. He had initially tried to avoid being alone with her, but now the girl keeps squirming, claiming a bug bit her. With a sigh, Ishizuki retrieves his bug repellent, but when he turns back, Shizuku has already lifted her hoodie, asking to put the anti-bug cream on her. Although he initially tries to refuse, Shizuku skillfully controls him using her sweet words. As he moves closer to apply the cream, she starts making weird noises, attributing them to the cold cream, leaving Ishizuki feeling increasingly awkward. Once he finishes applying the cream to her back and thinks this situation feels so indecent, Shizuku says that now is time for the front side. But it turns out it was just a joke. Or was it? She even suggested that it was so amusing to tease Ishizuki and got a little carried away, and when thinking about that, it was quite enjoyable since he could see his embarrassed face. However, Shizuku is ready to stop joking around. She would hate it if Ishizuki believed she was joking around when it came to really important things, and when the boy was in a very defenseless position, the girl made a sudden move and ended up on top of him, suggesting that there is a bug. To add to the excitement, a light from a lantern suddenly illuminates their direction. It turns out Takt is around and keeps calling for Shizuku, hoping he did not notice the two of them because it would be bad if he saw the two in this posture. Ishizuki tries to push Shizuku off, but she refuses, fearing the bug would harm her if she moved. With no options left, Ishizuki is about to take care of it. As he instructs Shizuku to stay still and reaches inside the back of her hoodie, she insists the bug is lower. Thinking about it, Ishizuki recalls how she used to catch bugs barehanded in elementary school, but as the girl is saying, that was in elementary school, and now she cannot stand them. When Ishizuki asks why he came to this place knowing there would be lots of bugs and insects, Shizuku admits she got too excited and forgot about it. Seeing this side of her, Ishizuki believes she is surprisingly childish sometimes, annoying the girl who wants the bug out of her clothes. As he manages to take care of it, he asks the girl to step off him, but if she is going to do that, Takt might find them because of the noise. Finally, now that it's all quiet, Ishizuki can see the situation he is in more accurately, making his heart beat really loud, prompting the girl to whisper into his ear that Takt would notice it and he should calm down. But let's be honest, this situation is quite exciting in some ways. The only problem is that this woman is his best friend's girlfriend. As they are in this posture, Shizuku wants to hear Ishizuki say clearly that she is the reason why his heart is pounding right now. Thinking about his situation, and because of the heat of the moment, he is saying that it is because of her, and any guy would be like this in a similar situation. Hearing that, a smile rises on Shizuku's face, who is happy knowing that Ishizuki's heart is pounding because of her. Even though she should not be happy about it, there is nothing she can do about it. Ishizuki never made any advances towards her, prompting Shizuku to believe he was not interested in her. But this seems pretty logical, since she already has Takt. However, Shizuku ends up saying that even her heart is racing like crazy, and as she moves closer and closer to Ishizuki, he keeps on pushing her, until on the other side of the bush where they are hiding, Takt is in distress since he is not able to find her and says that since that day, he feels like Shizuku has been a little distant from him. Finally, as they believe Takt has gone away, Ishizuki prompts Shizuku to get off. With that, she apologized, making the boy wonder why, and in the next second, she moved closer, stealing a kiss from Ishizuki. Without giving him any time, she ran away, letting Ishizuki puzzle as he screamed and attracted Takt. And he came up with the excuse that water fell on his neck, scaring him. On the other side, Shizuku, who runs away, starts thinking that if he was going to do it, she should have done it sooner. Later that day, when they have finished playing and gone home, Shizuku is calling for the two guys who are in the bathroom. As all three of them sit across the table, they ponder how it's been a while since they've enjoyed Shizuku's cooking. Ishizuki compliments the food, but Takt interjects, suggesting his portion tastes better because it's filled with love. When Ishizuki tries some of it, to his surprise, the taste is indeed different, despite Takt's initial joke. To confirm, Shizuku jumps in, suggesting that it's really different. She changed the flavor a bit in one of them. When Takt proposes that the one with love tastes better, Shizuku agrees while casting a meaningful glance at Ishizuki. Later, after they fell asleep, Ishizuki woke up in the middle of the night. Looking at his sleeping friend, who couldn't differentiate the food they received, he realizes he can't betray Takt any more than this and decides to go to his own room. However, on his way there, he catches sight of Shizuku sitting on the terrace, prompting him to tag along. He finds out she couldn't sleep for some reason. She mentions that she borrowed his shirt without asking and suggests she's going to wash it and give it back. But maybe Ishizuki would like to take a good sniff of it, in which case she would return it without washing it. But as he is saying, it is not the case. As silence settles between them, Ishizuki gathers the courage to ask about the unexpected kiss, prompting Shizuku to say, "The prank was a great success." As she moves closer, asking if they should do it again, Ishizuki slaps her hand away, telling her to stop. If they go further than that, they'll never be able to go back. He wants the three of them to continue as always. Hearing this, Shizuku becomes concerned, wondering how they ended up in this situation. After apologizing, she goes to sleep, leaving his place the next morning. The next day, as he lays down pondering about what just happened, Ishizuki can't figure it out. What was Shizuka really trying to do? Was she just teasing him, or was it to get at Takt? But this is enough for now, and he decides to sleep some more. However, just as he's about to close his eyes, a girl he doesn't recall suddenly shows up in his room. A moment later, after the girl stumbled over him, his memory jolts him, reminding him of a similar situation back when he was in middle school. Her name is Umami Inami, and she's a little annoyed that it took him so long to recognize her, despite it being 2 years since they last met. She suggests that his adorable junior came a long way to see him, and it's his duty as Inami's senpai to recognize her in an instant. It seems this girl is quite troublesome indeed. When she found his door locked, she decided to go around the house. Then, while inside the garden, she spotted him sleeping and nonchalantly decided to surprise him when he woke up. When Ishizuki asks about her return to town, he learns that she's not just here to hang around. She's actually back to bring him some trouble since she's moved back. Despite her uncertainty about returning, she thought it would be nice to be here, especially with Ishizuki around. Omami was the only other member beside Ishizuki in the broadcasting club, and it seems she's gotten much better at flattering since then. Moreover, Omami reveals that she's transferring to his school tomorrow and intends to visit him during lunch break, hoping he'll show her around the school. As the next day has come, everyone is surprised to see Ishizuki being approached by the girl, but the person most concerned about what is happening before her eyes is none other than Shizuku.